Hey folks, welcome to Tully River Quail. Just a quick little view of our little property. Back here is our bobwhites in the woods overlooking the river. And I wanted to show you a little bit about our instant watering, our winter freeze-proof watering system. Here's our workshop, our breeder quail house. Excuse me. Here's our winter watering system that we have for this. I have a similar system down in the bobwhites that's running on solar, but basically I'm repurposing a cooler. I have three components in this. I have a return feed that I'm using to fill the tank that comes directly from a faucet. So by switching the on and off or the control levels, I can actually just do the return line. This is a float, so when I fill this, it will only go up until this float and it'll shut off the valve. So I can fill this to capacity. Inside I have a removable 12-volt pump that only pumps 2.5 gallons per minute. So very low volume, but powerful enough to bring it up here to this second level. And this runs, like I said, directly on 12 volt. But I'm using a 110 adapter, this little cover thing that's covered in black, that turns it on and off at the same temperature that the bucket heater that I'm using does. So it'll turn this heater on, which is plugged right in to this GFI outlet as well. Whenever it gets below 35 degrees, this bucket heater will come on and keep the temperature to 40 degrees. And it also, this unit, this little widget wall wart that the adapter, 12 volt adapter plugs into, will do the same thing. So this will only use electricity when it reaches below 35 or 40, whatever. So that pumps to the supply line, and then I have a return line coming here. That pump comes off. I don't have that glued, I just have it so that I can pull it off. That way, if I need to prime it, I can just sink it in the bucket, shake it a couple times, and push it back on. And that also allows me to replace it should that fail. When you have a system like this, you have to make sure that you get a little bit of air in here. So I just cut a little notch, and I sealed that notch with some Gorilla Glue, white glue, just because this is a shell over top of a foam core and it's a pretty open cell foam, so I sealed that so it doesn't get inside here. All right, that's the brains, the control mechanism of this. Let's walk down to the quail and I'll show you how I have it. And again, I have a similar situation down there at the bobwhite. Lovely rainy day here at Tully River. There's our garden. Two little gardens for our homesteading. Now here's the cages that we build. You can see that I have lights. I don't have them on. I probably should for this filming. But let's go and say hi to everybody. Here's our Texas A&M jumbo whites. You can see I have my cages have a J feeder. And then in the back I have our quail watering system that I make out of 1-inch flexible landscape plumbing. They're cartridges. When these guys came from the quail house after in their grow out, they weren't used to nipple drinking. So I have a little trick that I use that after I put them in there, what I do is for the first couple days I'll give them a little cucumber just to make sure. But I use one of these poles that you use for I guess marking your driveway in winter. And what I've done is I've put a little red tape with a crown on it. I was going to put eyes on it. I'd like to make it look quail-like, but it doesn't have to be. And I darken the rest of it. But here's some new guys that just went in a couple days ago, and I'm still trying to train them. So what I do is I come from the top, because the water, if I put it down in one of the lower rungs, the water will drip down off of it. So I want it to drip off of the nipple. But let's just see if I can get back there and get somebody drinking. So I'll go in and trigger it and then they come over to investigate. No, I just had all these guys drinking. And like I said, these guys are new, so they're a little skittish, but now I'll just leave that there for a little bit so I don't scare them pulling it out. And then they'll stay in there. And like I said, these guys, I just trained these quail over here. And so they're already starting to use the drinker. But again, for the next couple days, I'll supplement their water with cucumber halves. That should last a day or two. But it's a nice little treat. Welcomes them to their new home. So back to the quail, we have these 3 cages of whites. These came from my Myshar farm white wing hatching eggs. I just wanted to raise jumbo white wings, which we have here. You can see the wings in the back. But of them, only 20% of them hatch true, or 80% hatch true. So you'll get some whites and you'll get some wilds. So I have 3 cages. I only have a couple in here. I had to take one out. He was pretty aggressive. So, and then another one had a crossbill. So I'm going to have to treat his crossbill just by clipping the little tip. I'll make a video when I do that. Excuse me. So here I have 6 birds in each cage, and let me just show you the cage I have. So I have these little fold down, it's like a laminated plastic that I can also flip inside the egg return if I want to make it windproof. So that makes it pretty solid. It's going to get windy tomorrow, so I'll put these down. But at the nighttime, I'll do this. If I want them to calm down, I'll flip these over, or if it's windy or a little cold out, I'll put those down. I'm also making a bivouac, a little quail extension cage. I'll show you that when I'm done with this. But that's going to clip onto this cage outside of the door. That's going to be lined with Schluterboard foam, 1/2-inch waterproof foam, and it's going to give them a little house that they can get into. That I'll have access. This lid will actually be the roof, and I have a magnetic latch that I'm going to put on the top of it that will latch down, and they'll be able to come in here and keep warm. And it also has access, since this is just the lid of it that, like I said, will be locked with a magnetic latch. I use cereal boxes to put sand in, so I can drop a cereal box in, it fits perfect, and put some sand in there and take that out whenever it gets damaged. Sometimes I'll line them with some plastic tape just so that they stay a little bit better. But some of the cages, like I said, these guys only have a couple because I had to remove a couple. I haven't sexed these guys yet. I just wanted to get them in here. So I'm going to swap these around and get the right ratio. Here's another cage of white wings. Now I have 7 in this cage and 7 in this cage because I needed to keep the other cages ready. Again, I might move some of these white wings in with some white ones once I change them around. But you can see I got a male here on the right, another male there. Here's a female right here in the front. You can see the darker chest, the spotted chest for the females. There's a good picture of the male and female. On the far right is the female, the far left is the male. All right, here's my jumbo wilds, my jumbo pharaohs. I have these guys all together. These guys have all been put in here. Look at that beautiful red chest. And their little whiskers. And I'm gonna put all my males down here. Again, I just moved these guys. So let's just take a quick little walk up here. I'm gonna come back in and put the cucumbers back in the rest of their stuff. Just wanted to show you that little trick. Show you the rest of our establishment here. I know it's a muddy, rainy day here. This little building I just built last year myself. I had somebody help me put the roof, hold the roof up there. But here's my winter watering system. I have to change something. I wasn't able to. I was trying to put the nipples through the wood slats, I just don't have enough room to screw them down enough. So I'm going to take those boards out and put my 1-inch waters in here. But let's go over here and turn on the lights. Here's my control system I have. I don't have it plugged in right now, but I have 2 brooder lights, and this top cage has heaters. I have one removed from that porcelain base, but I have one here, and this heater light slides up and down on a couple suspended wire straps, electrician straps. I can't see them, but there's a guy I call Bumblefoot in the back. He's got a bum leg, doesn't walk very well. There's the white one, has the cross bill. Let me see if I can get him to see his little cross bill. I gotta just nip that. You want to nip the white part, not the pink part. And then here's the guy that was getting picked on. And this guy has one white wing on his left side, but not on the right side. So I might put him in. He was getting picked on. You can see he's losing a little bit of rump. He has a rump patch that's been exposed. Let me see if it's a he or she. So she was getting pretty beat up. Anyway, this is my little quarantine thing. But here's my other 2 boxes that I'm going to use for just my breeders. So this will be my breeder stock. I'll put the guys I want in here and keep them close by. Here's my little transport cage that I made. I make this cage for folks that want to start a covey, and I'll give them 5 birds, 1 male, 5 female, or 4 females, maybe 6, and or 5 or 6 females if they want to have layers. It doesn't have a rollout cage, but depending on how you do it, you could just tilt the back. My shop is a mess right now, so another brooder box I have under here. This is where I was keeping my little transport cage, but I have a brooder box there. I have some heat lights up here. Another brooder box here. These all have 1/4 inch. Here's my little drinker systems after they get old enough and I can remove those chick drinkers. I put these in, and I made these with a little lid, so when the birds perch on top of here, they don't poop in the water. Don't poop in the water. Always a good deal. Again, here's my wreck of a workshop. I was scrambling. We had to go to the Bahamas for a couple weeks. I know, poor me, but that came right in October, and we started getting some crazy weather. But here's my little bivouacs that I'm making. I have some flooring I'm putting in, but these little hooks on the end hook to the top rung, and then this lower floor slides in between the egg rollout and the lower part of the top part of the egg rollout and the tray. So this locks in there pretty good, and then the lid fits over top of it, the plastic lid, as this, say this was the plastic lid, so that just comes up, and that way I have access to get in. And then if I really need to, so I'll open the door, put this on, I can block the front with a piece of signboard or something, plastic, corrugated plastic, if I need to get in here and do stuff. But I'm going to make this with some foam lining, this Schluter board foam with the floor, and then I'll have a removable plastic core, that plastic cardboard tray that's the size of cereal boxes. So that'll be able to come in and out, and I'll be able to use sand in that and pop it out when I want, or I'll be able to put straw in there in the winter times, and this will help keep them warm. I guess that's all we got. Tully River Quail. Let's walk over here and just see if there's anything else. You can see my place is a wreck, but nice motorcycle. I didn't build that, I ride it though. Here's this Schluter board. So 1/2 inch thick, waterproof. You can use this Carity board flex, Carity fix to make glue the seams, and just tape them if you want, because this will get some water in it. But since my stuff's under the stairway back in the back, it doesn't really get much water, so I'm okay not gluing those. Here's all my workshop, all my drawings, sketches, pretty crazy stuff. Here I'm trying to create a box that you can mail eggs in that's also an incubator. So if you look at it, I'll just show you, pretty cool. So this would be the lid. This part would be perforated and peel off, would have a plastic top. This is an insert that goes inside a foam lining. When you take this out, flip it over, it gives you more room, and then this fits on top of that so that it gives you a little bit room for maybe a mini brooder. And then all my internals would be already attached in here, just a simple little timer, thermal timer, and a heating element that I have, which would be a pad with nichrome wire that will be able to warm the bottom. And then as far as the egg turning, you just lift one side up, lift the other side up, in a simple way. And then I have the foam inserts for the eggs, so you basically just pop the eggs out, plug it in, push a button, and turn it a couple times a day. But that's how you ship your eggs, in this incubator box. So I'll be developing that. But like I said, you know, I got all these sketches of different stuff that I'm building, and crazy. All right, folks, Tully River Quail over and out. Have a great day. Hope your house isn't as messy as mine. Enjoy the wonderful weekend. And if you have any questions, if you liked the video, please subscribe. Appreciate it. Quail, new chicken.